Okay, so you have now become a licensed foster parent, and you are probably so excited to get your first call about a child to foster. In this video, I want to talk to you about when to say no to a foster placement. Because when you become a licensed foster parent, you're so excited, you can't wait to get that call, and you don't want to say no, even though you know that you have the option to say no. And so I want to talk you through some of the things that you want to consider and when to feel like it's appropriate to actually say no when you get that call. So before we jump into it, make sure you subscribe to my channel, like this video, and also hit the bell button to be notified when I post a new video every week. Okay, so what you need to know about your foster care agency is that even though through the training process, you likely told them the type of child that you'd feel comfortable fostering, they're still gonna call you about any type of child. You just need to know that up front. So for me and my husband, for example, we were clear that we did not want siblings because we already have 3 kids. We didn't want to just jump into taking so many kids at once and not be able to emotionally handle all of them. So we wanted to start with 1 child, and we wanted the child to be like 5 and under, okay? But these are the types of calls that we got. We got calls for like a teenager at some point. We got calls for a baby. We got calls for like a 14-year-old. We got all these calls and we were thinking like, we already told you that we can't handle that right now. But what I came to realize is that foster care agencies will call you anyway because they're just looking, maybe you changed your mind or something. And so I want to walk you through when to say no to a foster care placement and not feel bad for it. But as we go through this, remember that you got into foster care because you wanted to help. So you don't want to just say no to every single call either. You actually want to stop and think through and say, okay, can I handle this? Is this something I want to do? Okay, so this is the first reason why you should say no to a foster care placement. The first reason is you don't have room for it. So I told you earlier that our foster care agency called us for, I think it was 2 teenagers. Well, we said no because first of all, it wasn't the age of the child that we were willing to foster at that time, but also because we literally don't have room. Like we didn't have 2 extra bedrooms for 2 older kids to be in our home. We have a basement, but it's not like a bedroom. It's a basement where the kids can play. And so one of the considerations that you want to think of when you're getting these foster care placement calls is, do I have a room for it? The other consideration you want to have is for siblings, right? So if your foster care agency calls you for a sibling strip of 5, a sibling strip of 3, a sibling strip of 2, do you have the capacity do you have the room for 2 or 3 or 4 kids? If you don't, then you should say no because you don't have room. The second time that you can say no to a foster care placement is when you know you're not adequately prepared for it. So for example, there are foster families who have a heart for special needs kids, and so their home is literally built to take care of special needs kids, like kids in a wheelchair or kids who are blind or deaf and stuff like that. Like that's their heart. And so they've got things in their home and outside of their home that makes it easy for them to actually take care of that child. But if you know that you're not equipped for that, like you don't know the first thing about taking care of a blind child, you don't know the first thing about taking care of a child with special needs, then you should say no, because you're basically setting yourself up for failure if you said yes to a child that you cannot adequately provide for their needs. So you want to keep that in mind, is as much as we want to help these kids, you also have to be self-aware and know what you can or cannot handle. Because at the end of the day, if you take a child in and then you can't take care of them, it's now doing a disservice for that child because now they're bouncing around to another home. And so you want to be really vigilant with that and protect your emotions and know that I want to have a child in my home that I know, I'm confident that emotionally I can take care of them, emotionally I can be fully invested, and I can care for their needs as much as I'm able, of course with help and with support as well. The third time that you can say no to a foster care placement is when you happen to just be in a season of your life where you just can't handle having another child in your home. So I want to give you an example from my experience. So when my husband and I first became licensed foster parents, we got a bunch of different calls, like I told you. One of the calls that we got was for a newborn, and my heart leapt because I was like, oh, it's a newborn baby. But what was going on in that season, it was like a 2 or 3 week period where I was swamped with work. I had this trial, an adoption trial, a contested adoption trial that went 4 days, and it went over a period of like 6 months. We had 4 different full day trials, and it was draining emotionally, it was draining physically, it was just a lot. And so when they called us, I think I was getting ready for the second day trial maybe that week. And so I thought, there is no way I can have a newborn in this home lose sleep, because you know that's what happens when a child first comes in your home, is they have trouble through the night sometimes. So you're gonna lose sleep, and it's a newborn. So I'm like, I cannot afford to lose sleep right now. I'm just trying to get ready for this trial right now. There's just no way that I can adequately take care of myself, be present for my clients that have already paid me money to be there for the trial, and to also take care of this newborn baby that I would love to have, but I just cannot this week. And so you gotta also be self-aware. If you're going through something that week, or the past 2 or 3 weeks, that you're emotionally drained and you just cannot accept a placement right now, I think it's okay to say no. So we ended up saying no. But I wanna now share with you the other placements that we said no to and why. So we had a call for a lot of different children. So I already told you about the teenagers. I told you about the newborn. We also got a call for kids that were like in between our children's age. And the reason why we said no was because we wanted a child that was younger than our youngest. Part of the reason why we wanted that was because we wanted our children to actually help us care for the younger ones, as a way for them to understand that we're giving back to our community and that they are also included in this process. Like, we're not just bringing a child in and we're taking care of them while they're just playing. We wanted our children to be invested as well. So like my 3 boys will now carry our foster kids around. They will grab my 2-year-old daughter. They will help feed her. They will change her clothes if we ask them to. And so they're caring for these kids as much as we are. Obviously not in the same way, but you know what I mean, like they're helping. So your situation is different from our situation. So this really is a case-by-case basis when to say no to a foster care placement. What I just want to remind you again is that you don't want to just start saying no to everything because it feels uncomfortable, because you don't feel like doing it, or whatever. Because the reason why you are doing this is because you want to help the kids. And so it's going to be uncomfortable. Okay, having a child come into your home that doesn't know you, that you don't know, takes a lot of courage on both ends. And it takes a lot of courage for you as a foster parent to actually put yourself out there and say, I will be here for you. I will work through all of the things that comes with the trauma you've been dealing with, and I just want to be here. Okay, so again, I want to commend you for that, just having the heart and for being licensed as a foster parent. So make sure to subscribe to my channel and like this video, and check out this next video right here on the screen, and I will see you there. All right, bye-bye.